Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rocha Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawine, Banyasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. Nakar Harab, Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today I'll be coming out a lesson, and this is another video excerpt that was put in the group chat by the bishop of this camp, Kanak, and it is now speaking about China's new weapon of indignation that the Lord has allowed them to create. So without further ado, I'm going to play this excerpt, and then I'm going to get a few scriptures.
Level New York in under 30 minutes. Meet the DF-5B, China's most powerful intercontinental ballistic missile. This isn't just any missile. It's a nuclear giant that can carry multiple warheads, each one 200 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. Yes, 200 times. With a range of 12,000 kilometers, it can strike across continents, from Beijing to New York, before your food delivery even shows up. And these aren't just kiloton warheads. We're talking megatons. One missile, several warheads, enough explosive force to erase an entire city. Though the DF-5B isn't new tech, its reemergence is China's way of sending a chilling reminder to the world. A message loud and clear: there's still a major nuclear force. For the US, India, and beyond, the tension just got very real. And while the world watches, one question remains. What happens if this ever gets used?
We know what's going to happen when they get used. As a matter of fact, let me go back. This is Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Plain and simple. These other nations are investing into their, we'll say, armaments, their military complex. That is them beating their plowshares into swords. They're getting ready, getting prepared for war. That's what it's coming down to. War. World War III. And in the midst of that, with all that going on, this sinful kingdom will end up being destroyed. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So these other nations are getting ready. They're beating their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. And once upon a time, China was looked at as weak. But now they're saying they're strong. Korea is another. North Korea in particular. And this is just going back to, again, the third woe coming to pass. But this is making this devil afraid. These terrorists. This is a terror. It's scaring this devil. You got the chariots. That's also a terror for this devil. The powers that be. The bloody man. This is Job, chapter 18. And I'm going to start at verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light of the wicked being put out is being put out of the earth, meaning in total end to wickedness, and the one that it emanates from, and the one that spread it around the four corners of the earth. His light is going to be put out. The spark of his fire is not going to shine. There will be no more of these, or should I say this, devil and his wickedness. That time is coming. And it will be here sooner than later. Verse 6. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. No more cities. No more celebrations, no more or no more communities, no more provinces, no more towns for this devil. It says the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. No more progeny, nothing left of wickedness or the wicked one. And this is what scares this devil. Verse 7, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. So the steps of this devil, the steps of this devil's strength going to be straightened, meaning this devil's going to be powerless. When it comes down to it, when the Lord brings his judgment to this devil, it's going to be powerless, and there's going to be nothing to stop it. And we already see that this devil's counsel is casting him down now. You got a lot of these Ottawamites or Edomites, whatever. You got a lot of those of Ottawam. They're completely divided. They're against each other. You got some of them calling each other out on the BS, while others are complicit with it. And it's just so much conflict in the Mount of Edom right now. And this is the Lord's doing, because he's destroyed wisdom out of the Mount of Edom. That's why they're making so many dumb decisions. That's why they're just going around in circles. They don't know what's going on. You got some pushing for total annihilation. You got others of them trying to prevent it. It's so much. It's so much going on right now. And then in that, this devil is telling on himself. You have they're siding against each other, casting each other down, exposing each other. But let's continue. Verse 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. So this devil is cast into a trap, a net by his own feet, by his own doings. You remember Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This devil was the first one to introduce the world to the nuclear age. And that trap is now going to fall upon this devil. He introduced the nuclear age, and guess what? He's going to end with the nuclear age. He brought it in, and guess what? The Lord going to use it to take him out. So that net that this devil is cast, it's going to fall upon him. Now he's going to fall into his own trap. He's walking upon a snare. Don't even know that the Lord finna spring this trap on him. He think that he going to be able to get around it and skirt around it. Somehow come up out of it unscathed. Nah, when the Lord brings his judgment, when the Lord come through, you judged. Period. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just judged. Let's continue. Verse 10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. So the snare has been laid for him. The Lord has meticulously set this devil up to fall upon his snare. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap is set for this devil in the way. And another thing that's going to really trap this devil is when he tries to force the MOTB on people with the threat of death. As a matter of fact, not even force. Right when he implements it, that's going to be the final nail in the coffin. And that's the trap that the Lord got this devil in. Verse 11. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. And that's what's going on right now. Terror is making this devil afraid. The fact that these other nations are now dealing in their own currency. The fact these other nations are now weaponizing, becoming stronger, or should I say, becoming even more stronger, because they are strong now. They're becoming stronger, and they're developing weapons. Well, this is a terror to that devil. That's the devil. Because this devil wanted to be the only ones on the earth with nuclear power. Well, now these other nations got it. And now it's making this devil afraid. And also this truth. The fact that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are waking up to who they are. That is also a terror to this devil that is driving him to his feet. Making him move hastily. Making him do things and move in ways that he wouldn't normally move. That's why this devil is going to rush and come rushing in like a flood. Because he knows he has a short time. So he got to get everything set up. But by that time, it's going to be too late. Because right when he think he good, you could just go over to Job chapter 20. Right when this devil think he good and about to feel this better, the Lord is going to rain his fury and wrath upon him. And destroy this devil while he is eating. While he is in the midst of thinking he got everything good. This devil ain't finna see none of that. Let's continue. My last point. Jeremiah 50, verse 25. The Lord Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. So this is the will of the Heavenly Father. The fact that these nations keep developing weapons, making weapons that are already developed stronger, giving them better capabilities, and designing completely new weapons. That is the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that it is happening. In the land of the Chaldeans is another word for Edom, Babylon, America, the sinful kingdom, Idumea, Basra. This is the Lord's will, and those weapons that these nations are gathering are the Lord's indignation. Is what He gonna use to judge the earth, and mainly Babylon, America. Oh yeah, they also gonna get hit over there in the east too, the one that's posing to be like they're the real true people of the Lord. But through prophecies and through scriptures, you see that they're not it. This is not anti anything. This is the truth. They are not it, because if you read the scriptures, it says the world will know war no more when the children of Israel are returned to their land. Aren't they the people? Why are we on the brink of World War III? But, you know, there's just a question raised. But the things that we see now, this is the will of the Lord. The fact that these nations are developing weapons and strengthening existing weapons, well, guess what? That's what the Lord going to use to bring judgment to the earth and Babylon, America. And with that, shalom.